Well, good evening, folks. It's very nice to be here tonight. Big thank you to the Art Center of St. Peter and the Minnesota Original Music Festival, KMSU, Triple Falls, and obviously this wonderful panel of guests tonight. Thank you to the folks who came on out to behold this here event. My name is Kaleb Braun-Schulz. I'm a working musician and songwriter around the area. And I was very delighted to be tasked with this panel. Very excited to be here tonight. I just wanted to kind of start off by going down the line and having everybody introduce themselves. I would say name, what project you're a part of, or projects, and then for the sake of the kind of concept of this panel, which is shedding a light on songwriters who are in different phases of their careers from different eras. If you could give the year roughly that you wrote your first song, if that's something that you're comfortable sharing with the public. So we'll start here closest to me.
My name's Emma. I go by Emma Josephine on stage. I've been songwriting since 2016, so it's been like 7 years. And project-wise, I guess I work on my own like singles, and I've done like one EP when I was really young, and other than that, just releasing that stuff whenever I can and playing live. So.
Excellent.
Hey guys, I'm Jerrika Mighelle. I just released my third studio album called Be Brave. It's my first full-length one, too. I'm a recent transplant to Minneapolis from Eau Claire, Wisconsin, where I was born and spent most of my growing up. First song I wrote, I started playing music back in like 2004 with my sisters, and we collaborated and wrote a song together called Daddy, Do You Love Me? It's been a long time, guys. But my own song for my own guitar, I just started that. That was 2008, probably, a song that I wrote. So I've been doing this for a while. Seasoned.
Thanks, Jerrika.
Speaking of seasoned.
Yeah. They wrote their first song after I had been playing for 35 years. My name's Ron Arsenault, and I live 8 blocks from here. And so happy to be part of this project. I started playing guitar in the mid 60s or so, and I play with City Mouse and the Lost Valley Orchestra and the Fabulous Fatheads, and Dave Penger and I play a duo together, and I play alone sometimes. And projects, I have a recent. Well, it was a new CD, but now it's a couple of years old, so now it's a recent recording that I just did in the studio with Eric Koskinen out here in Cleveland, Minnesota, and it was a really fun project, and it's called Big as the Moon, and they're a bargain at half the price. They really are. That's me.
What was your first song?
Oh, my first song was written in about 1970. Rather not do that one. Right. Some things get better with age, and some just get to be the truth.
What a good little tidbit of knowledge.
My name is Cassidy Anderson. I go by Kid Cassidy when I play solo. My current project is Artificial Flowers and an REM cover band. Formerly Me Me Me, which was a big project for about 10 years, but I wrote my first song in 2001, so when I was 15. So it's been 22 years now, which isn't as long as others, but today it feels like a long time saying that out loud for the first time, so.
Hello, my name's Abigail Kimball, but I go by Ark day to day, and it's my artist name. I think I wrote my first song in high school, which was 2014-ish. Yep, 2014. We're going to go with that. Yeah, I'm a singer-songwriter, multimedia artist, and live painter, and I'm a part of Joe Tugas and Associates. I have my own band, Soul Folk Union, and Silver Bells as well.
Excellent. Well, thank you all so much for being here today. I know it's summertime, so we're all super crazy busy with gigging and rehearsing and all of the different things that go into being a working musician. Being that all of you are such creative people, I guess my first question that I kind of wanted to lay out for you is, what drew you to songwriting as opposed to other... I mean, I know that a good handful of you are artists in different mediums, but what was it about songwriting that really felt like the way for you to express yourself, I suppose? And that could be historical context, that could be mentors or experiences that you had, or whatever you want to make of the question. I'll start with Emma.
Music has always been pretty special to me, so I guess I was never really involved in other art forms, but when in 2016 I broke my leg and my mom said, well, Emma, you can't play any sports anymore, so I'm going to force you to take guitar lessons. And so I started taking guitar lessons, and I started writing music like just about the same time that I could play like 4 chords together. And so I guess I didn't really like find songwriting as much as it just kind of like found me, So, yeah.
We're going down the line?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So I've always loved writing, and I started out with poetry, and I heard once, a long time ago, and I've like lived my life and my writing style by this, that poets are like the keepers of the time. They write the truth about what is going on in the world right now. And my sister Elizabeth started playing music, and I was an athlete, and I thought, maybe I want to try music. And when I discovered putting my poetry to melody, I realized I can reach with just that singing and vibration deeper than just the word being spoken. And I fell in love with it, and I fell in love with the process of it. So that's why I choose songwriting.
We write songs differently, because I always have a song, a melody, and then I see if I can find what I want to talk about that'll fit with that melody. Maybe that's backward, I don't know, but that's kind of how
how I do it. I started out with poetry, then I learned how to play guitar. And then it's guitar, then the poetry.
Well,
so Ron,
I was also never an athlete very. I found songwriting though because I just it's fun. I didn't find it for any other reason really, other than it was something that made me feel good, like writing songs. I've thrown away more songs than you guys have written. I can guarantee, because I don't keep all my songs, and I've probably written hundreds, but kept dozens. So I hope that answered some question that I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I think you rambled right into answering that question perfectly. Yeah, that was great.
I started songwriting as an outlet for getting rid of that teenage angst I had no other outlet for at the time. And it also helped me find a place among my peers. There was a group of older kids, high schoolers, or seniors, I should say, that had kind of encouraged me to get into music. I'd been singing my entire life. It had always been a very passionate thing. Music has always been important in my family, and so is karaoke. And also, I'm not afraid to admit it was also to impress girls in my class as well. No. Didn't work.
Mine was similar to the teenage angst as well, I think. Songwriting is not my first or primary medium, but it did stem from just a rough childhood where I was wanting to be perceived and seen and heard, and journaling was the only way to go about that, as well as creating 2D art. And I remember we were getting ready for a missions trip, and I was completely convinced that I had been given the gift of voice or singing in order to translate to these kids in the Dominican Republic. And I was convinced that's where it came from, and who knows, but since that point it was okay, wait, there's a lot of power that comes out of like your body is a whole instrument. So there's one thing when your hands are doing the expressing, but when it's coming out of like this cavern of a weird meat suit that's like has a soul in it, and then you make it like vibrate on different frequencies, it's a whole different thing. It's very spiritual, and yeah, I enjoy it.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. I think we'll start, actually, we'll just, Ark, if we could stick with you to start with this next one and go backwards down the row. The next question I've got is and this is where we can do a little bit of playing as well. I just am curious as to how you would each define your style of songwriting. Like, what is to you the stamp that makes one of your songs your song? And how did that style kind of develop and mature over the years? And feel free to play a little snippet of a song that you think really embodies that style.
Are you sure I have to go first?
I mean, if you don't want to, we can. Yes. Emma, are you okay? No?
It's not Emma.
Okay. Please, yes.
Wait, so who's going first?
Okay. I'll go first. I am honestly not sure what genre I have, and from beginning of my playing, I only had like probably 5 chords, and unfortunately, I still have only about 5 to 7 chords that I enjoy. But I found out that I can still get my messages across with my minimal chords, so no judgment in this space. Yeah, this is a song that I actually wrote, I think 1.5 years ago. It's for my friend that was going through a mental health crisis, and I honestly still don't know my genre, but it's definitely inspired by like Joni Mitchell and like Ella Fitzgerald and Otis Redding. Just very soulful and intentional with your lyrics, and also potentially like singing to other people or writing for other people that are in your life. So how much is okay to play? Verse and chorus?
Just like a verse and a chorus, yeah,
okay.
just to get a little taste.
Okay. All right. I know you're tired of getting up each day. I know you're sick of your mind getting in the way. There is a way as high as a mountain, moving in swift. I cannot stop the tsunami, so I coexist. I cannot stop the tsunami, so I let it hit. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's clapping.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
For me, growing up in the early aughts, there was obviously, I was in high school, I was really into Blink-182 and Green Day and Foo Fighters. But I'd also grown up on country music and classic rock, and as much as I tried to deny that those had influenced me, they were definitely ingrained into me. So as my sound grew, I guess my genre would mostly be alt rock, Americana, because I started to implement more folk and more country. I'm really obsessed with country music right now, which is really surprising to me. But I moved on from kind of the emo stuff, although I'll be angsty for the rest of my life. I really fell in love with more powerful vocalists like Fiona Apple and Regina Spektor, and found a lot more creativity in my songwriting and stuff through that. Currently, the theme of my band, Artificial Flowers, is more writing songs that might sound happy and beautiful, but they have really dark undertones in the lyrics, or vice versa. So an example, I guess it doesn't really exemplify that. This is an older song, but this song is called Elusive. I wrote it in about 2009, I think. I can't get her off of my mind, this problem of mine. I've danced around her so many times, but the future, well, she's blind. Oh.
I don't know what genre I play either. I don't think many people that write songs understand what category they would fit in until they put a band around them, and then they can usually label it. But writing songs for me, at least I found that I try to include something near the beginning of a song that might catch someone's attention, so they'll listen to the rest of the song. And I've lived in a lot of small towns, so it's been a theme of some of my writing over the years. And I've also watched people my age in casinos occasionally when I was playing there. That influenced some of my writing too. Those are some of the sadder songs that I do. But I don't know what genre I am. I always just call it Americana or roots, or what do you call it? I'm sure you guys probably experienced the same thing. What do you call this song? Style that you're playing? Well, I don't know. Shouldn't you figure that out if you're a professional musician?
Obviously not.
No. But this is a song that was inspired by a small town that I lived in, and I tried to have a little hook at the beginning of it just to maybe make people smile or think about what. And it goes on something like this. Both the cops are working. Must be Saturday night. Seems the same as Sunday or Monday or Tuesday. In sleepy old river town, people there don't fool around. See, they like it just fine in our town, where the people are friendly and the dogs don't bite. Something must be wrong, 'cause it feels so right, like it does in our town. And it goes on and it keeps going on.
So nice.
Thank you very much. That's in Steve Firkin's science fiction documentary, that song. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, it's hard. I want to hear the whole piece. I want to hear a whole song. So it's making me want more. You're right, Ron. It is hard to define what genre you fit in. Definitely singer-songwriter. I've leaned towards Americana, rootsy. I got a little bit of soul sometimes too. But like to find a song that exemplifies that, the only one I keep thinking of is one that's brand new. I literally wrote it last month. But I feel like it encompasses. Is that okay? You guys don't even know. All the songs I would play to you are probably new to you. But this one I call Born Again. Wish I could share it all. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so I started playing music in the church, so a lot of my like old stuff has a lot of like religious undertones in it, I guess. But now I kind of sway more towards like a folk genre, probably. I don't know. I'm also not really sure. But I'll play a little something. This is a song I think I wrote probably like 2019. So it's something older. So I'll play something newer later in our time, so you can get a variety. I left there a while ago, moved on so I could grow from all these places. I got lost along the way, 'cause love isn't the easy way, but we'll make it. When did I lose track of the stars? When did I forget where we really are? It's not so bad just wandering free, but I really like to know where I'm meant to be. Ooh, ooh. That's just a little taste. Thank you.
Oh, thanks for sharing those songs, folks. This just goes to show you to make sure that you go check out these artists after this event, and listen to these full songs. Go see them live. Go listen to their stuff online. Man, all great songs all around. Jeez, so excellent. Mm-hmm. All right, to follow that up, one thing that I was, as I was putting the questions together for this event, one of the things that was on my mind a lot was the idea of goals. And I'm kind of wanting to inquire about what were your goals when you first started making music, and then how did those goals kind of evolve, and what are your goals today as musicians? And I'll start with you again, Ark, if that's all right.
Yes, it is. I think my goal primarily was to be seen and perceived and heard. And as of the last year, I've kind of dove headfirst into it. And it's terrifying being seen, perceived, and heard. But now that is, I'm starting to accept that, it's transitioned into how can I make people feel something? Because that's the whole reason that I'm doing what I'm doing. So, yeah, that's the goal for the rest of my life, I think.
When I first started, kind of like what I said before, it's like just a kind of place to release a lot of the feelings that I had inside, and to try and fit in. There was a lot more ego involved then, and I think that it took a while for that to go away, honestly. But I think as it's grown and where I am at now, I have to agree with the trying to, like I feel like there's such a feedback loop when you have an audience in front of you, and that I'm conveying this feeling and the audience is picking it back up and sending it back to me, and it creates this like beautiful cycle that just like is one of the few places in my life that I find serenity. I've shifted my focus a lot from trying to make it like I was really just like, I want to be huge. I want to play in front of 10,000 people. And now I do a lot of things that I love to do. In the pandemic, I think really brought out, really showed a lot of like, I really just enjoy playing with my friends. I want to play like 6 shows a year that are really important events and really cool experiences like this, I think just trying to experience and share that experience with others is my goal these days.
I understand what you're saying, and there is something about playing live for people, especially if they're actually paying attention that you're there. That is a very rewarding experience. Maybe there is a little ego involved. My wife tells me there's a problem there, but it's just a really enjoyable experience. You guys all play, so you know what I'm talking about. You guys probably know what I'm talking about too. When someone appreciates what you're doing, and I really never had. I'm a random person, so my goals get confused with my history sometimes. I don't know what I'm thinking about in the future sometimes. But one thing I know, that like a carpenter, an architect likes to look at a building they built, and they have something they've left and made a little difference. And music is that way for me. And writing a song, you can leave something. And it won't start on fire or anything.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I think my original goal was to be folk rock star, I wanted to let music sustain my life, or not let, it's not up to me, but it would have. But it continues to evolve, and now I don't have a goal. I just keep writing music, and then if I'm going to write it, my mom always said, that which you keep, you lose, that which you share, you keep. So the stuff that I write, I gotta share it. These songs, especially if I love it. And my goal once I share it is I just really hope that there's something that I say that can help the listener get through a situation that I myself wrote that song from. And I try to write with some kind of solution, some kind of way to help us get out of our stuck state as human beings. I'm always writing about the human experience. So my main goal these days has just been to hope and inspire people to live their life to their true fullest self. And hope the internet will be around for a long time, and my music's out there for as long as the internet's out there. So I love the idea that who knows how many years from now somebody might discover it. So I don't care about being a folk rock star anymore. I just hope that in 100 years somebody finds that music and it does something for them. So that's really cool.
When I first started writing, my music was definitely for self-expression. I don't think I shared a lot of them to too many people because I like to keep it just for myself. But as now music is something that music industry is what I'm studying in college. Now it's kind of evolving into more of a business type of thing. And it's interesting to watch that change from being something songwriting has always been very natural. But watching it change into a discipline is really interesting too. And having discipline in that art form, I guess, was not something I was used to until recently. But goal wise, I don't really look for too much farther into the future. It's just getting on to the next thing that I want. And I also have a goal of having people singing with me. I really like that. So I always play a good cover during my gigs because I love hearing other people sing. And someday, hopefully, I can get a band and I can make other people dance. That would be awesome, So that's just kind of I guess they're not very concrete, but yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. Excellent answers all around, folks. Oh.
Would you say otherwise?
Man, y'all are doing a terrible job. I gotta be honest. Following on from that, kind of related to the journey aspect of things, I am wondering if each of you would be willing to share with us one. I mean, all of us have so many weird experiences as musicians, so many ups and so many downs as the years go by. And my question is, what is one instance that you would say you're most proud of from your music career so far? And what is one situation that has challenged you or humbled you or made you kind of go back to the drawing board on a few things? We'll start with Emma, if that's all right.
I'm going to start with what humbled me, because that really came out right away in my mind. The studio always humbles me. I really sometimes just struggle in the studio with all the technological stuff, you know? And my last single that I put out, I produced it fully myself in a studio. And that was really scary and really, I was in the studio for a lot of hours. I ate a lot of meals in the studio. You kind of live there for a while, but I do remember, this is kind of one of the proudest moments probably. I do remember walking into my first studio, and I recorded my first EP when I was 13, and it was in a nice studio. It was really nice, but I could only it was expensive, so it's only acoustic guitar and vocals, you know. But I remember walking into the studio for the first time and thinking, yeah, I could definitely live in here, you know. I kind of regret thinking that, because it kind of bit me in the butt, and now I'm in the studio all the time. But it was really I just felt like I belonged in there, and I spent a good 6 hours working on it, you know, and yeah.
Is this single out?
Yeah, the single, it's called Another Lover, and it's out on Spotify.
All right, I'm going to check it out.
Thank you.
Definitely do it.
I think starting with humble is good, and struggle. I feel like I'm on the other side of it, but I've spent a lot of years just dealing with the imposter syndrome, being queer, being, a woman. I'm non-binary now, or I always have been, but I have a word for it. And just being just this person who don't see myself reflected out in the music industry at all. So I'm what place do I actually have here? Is there a path for me? I've been paving my own path my entire nearly 20 years of playing music. And so that imposter syndrome just plants deep fears. And so I've struggled a lot with fear, and this new album that I just put out is called Be Brave, because it's all about me conquering fears and realizing that fear isn't an enemy, it is a gift. And all the fears that I have had were saying, don't chase your dreams. Fears pop up exactly in the place I need to go, and I realize I need to go right in the direction of the fear instead of avoid it. So that's what that album is all about. So I was dealing with this imposter syndrome, and I got to open for Leanne Rimes in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, where I was born. Leanne Rimes is a big country star. I remember her when she broke into the scene. She was 13 years old. And I got to open for her, and I played with my band, and it was the best show of my life. I conquered the fear. Once I hit the stage, fear was gone. And I gave the best show. My band gave the best show, and we got a standing ovation opening for a mega star. So that was well worth all the pain I've ever had to go through in this industry. So, and that was just last September. So I still watch videos to prove to myself it happened.
That's a great story. And as much as I would love to tell about all the inspirational things that have happened to me playing music, I have far more of the ones you might call challenging, because I've played in a lot of seedy pubs and places where some of you may not even go. But I can tell you the one thing that probably still to this day has been the most rewarding experience for me, is playing for children. And we do a lot of shows. My friend Dave Penger and I do a lot of shows together for kids. And when you see those little faces, and they're singing, you know, I can't even get through some of the songs when I play for kids because I get emotional. It's wonderful to have them sing along, and even if they're off pitch a little, then they sound a little like Ron, you know. I love playing for children, though. Those have been my most rewarding. Caleb, when you were just a kid,
kids.
you were one of the kids I played for, and we sang together. And don't tell your parents that I had anything to do with you becoming a guitar player, please.
I blame you every time.
Yeah, I
like, you know that
you do.
That Ron Arsenault. Jeez.
I'll continue the trend of bad news first. I think one of the toughest things to come to terms with more recently was I was in a band previously, Me, for 10 years, and by far the best project with some of the best players. We were a band for 10 years. We put out 2 amazing albums, and I did absolutely nothing with it. Barely promoted it, barely played out, didn't try to do anything, and I kind of had let my mental health and my addictions to drugs and alcohol rule everything. And so leading into my accomplishments, 2 days ago, I got 5 years sober. And then, which feels really nice. And then, with this new project, it's going slow on purpose, but we finally have a full band put together after 5 years. And, everything is so purposeful, like photo shoots and getting music, or I'm recording the album myself. Everything's healthy. Everybody in the band is sober and healthy. And, it all came to a head a week ago. We played Bryant Lake Bowl. We put on a haunted forest show, and I met another band member, and he has big ideas like I do, and we built this, in this theater, we built this massive forest, tons of trees, walls of ivy, fern hanging everywhere. We had ghosts walking around with lanterns. We had a tarot reader behind the stage. You had to walk through the forest to get your tarot read, and instead of break music, we had nature sounds instead. There was no music in between the bands at all. We sold it out, and it was just so nice to finally have ideas and inspiration and the mental health and clarity to actually achieve them. So I think that would be it.
I'm gonna need to know when that was, where it was, and when I can go next time.
There will be another one. I'll announce it at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Being humbled on that note, I am very humbled being here right now. Yeah, from the get-go, singing came very naturally to me, and I did a couple open mics, and it was just oh my gosh, your voice, that's so great. And then my ego was going up a little bit, and then like Emma was saying, it was wait, no, I don't even know how to plug this guitar in. I don't know what's going on. I don't know the technological side of it. And last year I started taking voice lessons, and that was me starting to take the reins on, I don't know, my power and what I was doing and why I'm doing it, and starting to curate that. But yeah, I'm humbled right now. And one of the most amazing moments was performing with my band Soul Folk Union, and we just started in March. But gosh, is it good to have people dance? It is so good to have people dance. I cannot. I remember the first person that came out, and I was like, yes, this is amazing. So yeah, had a lot of highlights and a lot of downsides, but yeah.
Oh, thanks for sharing all that stuff, guys. That was all very, very informative and very, very personal. I appreciate that. And, once again, all of these folks who I'm talking to right now do some incredible, amazing things that you should definitely look into and definitely dive a little bit deeper on. Once we start winding down for the day here, I'll have everybody say where you can find them and everything like that. Right now, though, since we have a little bit of time left, I wanted to kind of ask, and I know this is maybe a little bit of a cliche question, but I know all of us have our own methods of writing songs, and I know that songs kind of come out of different places all the time, and sometimes the lyrics come first, sometimes the music comes first, sometimes maybe it's completely one or the other. But I'm just kind of wondering, generally speaking, how does your songwriting process work, and would you be able to share a little bit of a song that you think kind of followed that songwriting process, or how it generally works for you? I'll start with Emma down here.
So when Michelangelo sculpts, he feels like he believes that there is a person inside of the stone and he is setting it free. And that's kind of what I feel like with songwriting, but like sculpture is obviously like a medium of like space, right? And music is like how we decorate time, right? So when I write music, it feels like I'm like releasing a story from the time. It's not something that like I'm creating. It feels like I'm like, exposing it kind of. And so there's often like little like sentences or like little things that happen to me, and I'll keep them in my notes app, and then eventually like I'll sit down to write a song, and usually the lyrics and the chords come at the same time for me, and I just kind of like the story kind of starts to like unfold and like kind of find itself. And a lot of people are like, oh, are your songs like about real things that happen to you? And usually part of them are real, but a lot of it's also a lie. Like a lot of it's very like fabricated. I'll like play one example. So one night I was at the bar watching some live music, and this lady sat down at my table and she told me that I shouldn't talk to boys and that boys are just trouble, And I was like, oh, that's kind of the start of something, And I was like, okay. I sit down to write that night, and I just wrote the song in one night. Lady at the bar last night told me not to talk to a boy. She said they're trouble. And I don't cling to drunken words, but her bitterness almost burned worse than a whiskey on a Tuesday night. But if that's what you need to feel alright, see, that's where that came from. Now the rest of the song is complete, didn't happen to me, but the first part did, and that's how it like kind of starts to unfold itself. So, thank you.
And how do you, I'm going to maybe ask a little bit of follow-up questions as we go down here, I guess. How do you kind of coax out the rest of that fabrication? Like how did the not literal parts of the song like come to you? Is it just kind of stream of consciousness? Is it sort of like where did the rest come from?
It's kind of like I've just been kind of diving into like the storytelling side of writing, and I really enjoy like telling a story now in my songs, and it's just kind of like how a writer would like kind of write a novel or something, like you're figuring out the storyline and what's happening to this. It's now a character, like sometimes when I write, it's about something that happens to me, right? But then I fabricate the rest because maybe it's a situation I want to distance myself from, So like that's a way to like create distance between myself and emotions or situations that I don't like, And so just kind of like creating this more imaginary character that's like living this thing instead of me, so it's no longer mine or my thing that I have to carry,
Excellent. All right, Jerrika.
I was like, what's the question again? I know. Where do the songs come from?
Yeah, like how does it normally happen for you?
So it starts off with a melody, and then if whatever I'm feeling from there, what does that feel like? And I once I start writing, once a melody comes, words will just shoot out of my mouth, and it's generally just a line. And then I'm like, all right, what is that telling me? And I always open myself up to just the ancient part of me, the timeless part of me. I try my best to tap into that and even open up to my ancestors. The past couple of years, I've just been like, hey, ancestors, you are welcome to be part of this too. Because I just think about all of, especially the women in most people's ancestry. I just want them to have a chance to speak, and I let them do it through me. If that's possible, which I'm open to. And words come, so who knows? I don't know where they come from. But here's an example of a song I wrote for my sister Jessica. She and I are born on the same day, but I was born on her 3rd birthday. And I just feel like she's someone I've known for many, many lives. If we have more than one, I don't know, but I like to think about it. And it doesn't hurt to believe it. Sister, I know you hurt, 'cause I hurt too. I hurt too. Oh, sister, if you get lost, that's okay. I got you. So I also write for therapy too. It just makes me feel so much better and helps me understand the world and my life so much more. I forgot to say that.
Thanks, Jerrika.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
I wasn't expecting so many intelligent answers. I thought this was going to be an easier panel.
You fit right in.
No, you guys. Those are insightful. Most of the time when I come up with lyrics, it's because I've been observing something happen or some person or some situation, and that's where my stories come from. A couple of friends going through a bad breakup, and that became a song. Everyone thought it was about me, and I said, well, no, that we didn't get broke up. It's a song, part of it's true and part of it's
Radio friendly.
Yeah, it's radio.
Come on.
Part of it's not true. But I do get the lyrics in the songs, the melody usually, and try to plug the words in. And this was a woman I was watching at the Black Bear Casino, just having more fun than I've ever seen any human in my life, just staring at a large metal machine and just doing stuff to it. I don't even know what she was doing, because I don't do that. But she was having so much fun. This song came right to mind. I just watched her, and I had a whole song in a very short time because of. She's a small town pull-tab queen. She drops her dollars in the slot machine. She never loses, at least that's what she says. She's a winner. That was kind of that goes on and on, talks about her fun-seeking evening at the Black Bear Casino. I came with $20 and I didn't lose too much of it. My mom always she always brought $20 to the casino and came home and said, I won so many times today. I said, how much did you win? She said, well, I still have my 20. So maybe it's about my mom, I don't know.
For me, like Kaleb said, it's different every time. But I think most of the time, most songs I have are written right before I'm trying to go to sleep. I struggle with anxiety a lot, and so one of the symptoms of that is just a constant looping of a sound or a phrase in my head, which the benefit of that is I can write songs just having an anxiety attack. So I'll usually get up out of bed, and I made it a discipline to get up out of bed and go into my living room and write a song, and then it helps with the sleep. But most of all lately I've been like feeling kind of stuck, or anytime I feel stuck, I love writing songs with other people, especially when it comes to lyrics, which is very challenging. But when you get in that like flow state, like stream of consciousness, and you can take two experiences and put them together, and then whether it's truth or fiction, you can like stretch it out and make it into one cohesive idea. Like I think that's such a beautiful thing, and this example is a dark example of that. A partner I had at the time, I had this guitar part I had been sitting on for years. I decided to write it. She wanted to be a part of it, and so we started writing the lyrics together. She wrote half the lyrics, I wrote the other half and a few weeks later she ended the relationship, and so I returned to the song realizing like, oh, that's what those meant. That's what those lines meant. No. So I sat on it for a few years. I didn't touch it, and but I did finish it, and I've showed it to her. We're friends now. It's So the song's called Past Tension. I believe that it was possible, that there was time to comprehend, so I'll choose to ignore it again. Hide my fate inside this bottle, but is there room there for this man? We will never fit that way again.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, one thing that I just want to follow up on that with, how do you, so when you're writing with somebody else, obviously that's a whole nother mind and a whole nother brain, whole nother person. What to you, Cassidy, is like, how do you approach the situation when you're writing with somebody versus when you're writing by yourself?
I'll say this, most of the time it doesn't work. It doesn't work out. Like, it's kind of like we try to make it work, but when it does work, I think we choose a topic, maybe something we both experienced, maybe something one of us has brought to the table, and then we just, like, usually I will be the one sitting there with a notebook, like writing everything down and coming up with lines, and then we'll just go over it and over it and over it over and over again, and then put it to song and go over it some more until it feels right and that we both agree in it. And we might even have like different ideas on what those mean to us and play it out to someone, and somebody else might have something different image come to mind than what we even thought. So that's been kind of fun, especially with Mimi. That was very common.
Nice. And what was I about to ask? Shoot. Yeah, that's right. When your co-writing partners, when they throw a line at you that you think is not excellent, what's your kind of tact on working through those sort of situations?
Never saying like just no outright. Never just like shooting somebody down at all. No you statements, period. Like I'll be like, I feel this, or I'll say I can't connect to it, or offer up a different version of that line. Just kind of like it's, you don't want to bring someone else down.
Oh, for sure.
Or them. Like I get very self-conscious. So if someone tells me no, I'm just like, screw you then.
I'm going home.
Yeah, this is done.
Thanks, man. Ark?
Could you just roughly tell me what the question was again?
Just about your writing process. What sort of things kind of can get songs out of you? Is it a melody thing first, lyric thing? Are there life events that kind of can inspire specifically?
Yeah. So similar to Emma, and forgive me, what is your name again? Yes, you.
Jerrika.
Sorry.
I'm Jerrika.
Jerrika. Okay. The Michelangelo thing was great. I I just feel like nothing that I'm creating is usually mine, and there's a lot of time it's just translating things. I have a couple songs, or I'll tell people that some of them upload really fast. Like I'll get one line in my head and then the whole thing will just come out in a minute. But most often it's from melodies, and I am blessed to have a partner that is very gifted in playing guitar. Or literally anybody who plays guitar, I'll just hear something and then either something pops up or something doesn't. But once there's an immediate like hook, my brain catches on, and then we're just spouting out stuff. Like there's no thought process behind it. Guitar playing is not my forte, but this is a songwriting panel. So I'm going to sing you guys something that uploaded pretty quickly last year. And I really resonate with your story as well. I'm like incredibly anxious right now, and I'm usually very anxious too. And you guys are familiar with like TikTok and Reels and stuff like that. They have he said no.
It's the multi-generational song panel. That's what we're here for.
I know it, but I've never been on it.
Okay, yeah. So because everything is so streamlined, there's all these like cute little audios that are like 10 to 15 seconds. And there's some of them that are just so helpful for when your mental health is going out of line. So this is one that I made, and I've posted before, but it just comes up in my head every time I'm about to perform. But here it goes. I have the power to change the future, not the power to change the past. So I call upon my ancestry to raise me from this ash, to guide me through this land. And it just keeps on going. We keep singing. So, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's just great. We're right about at the end of our time, so I think I just kind of would like to get some final information from all of you lovely folks about where people can find your music, maybe where you're. What band you're in, who they should be looking out for, once again, just to close her down, and any final parting thoughts or words of wisdom. Once again, my name is Kaleb Braun-Schulz. I'm I'm a musician around the area as well. Usually I'm on the other side of the guitars, but not today. My group is called Kaleb Braun-Schulz and the Nightingale Band. We play all around. I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, and all of the social media places. So yeah, if you are curious about what I do, that's what I do. But let's just start down here and maybe just restate name, project, and where people can find you.
You can find me under Emma Josephine on Spotify, Apple Music. Like, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the things. And then I just put out a single, Another Lover. You can find that on Spotify. And I'm playing at the Coffee Hag next Sunday, so I'm really excited about that. If you're local, come stop by. And I'm just really thankful that you asked me to come be on the panel. So thanks everyone for being here, and thanks for chatting with these people. So very fun. Thank you.
Jerrika Mighelle, Jerrika Mighelle. I have a website, jerrikamighelle.com. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and I'm streaming everywhere. And I just released Be Brave on July 7th, and I have an album release show. It's outside of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, but if Radioland is hearing, or any of you guys know people around Eau Claire, which I hear, yes, so tell your friends. July 30th, which is also my birthday. And I'll be 42 and 3 years sober.
Wow.
Yay. So thank you guys. It is a big deal. It feels awesome. But also, just what Emma says, you guys are all wonderful, and hearing what everyone has to say, songwriters are cool, man. They got a lot of heart and spirit, and just being in this energy is amazing. So thank you for hosting, and whoever had the idea, awesome idea. So thank you everybody for being here too.
I'd like to thank you too, Kaleb, and I want you to know you were an outstanding third grader.
Oh boy!
And I guess I was his teacher in third. Was it third grade?
Yeah.
Don't take everything I said for real.
Yeah, no.
Probably
Like saying that I was a exemplary third grader.
No, you were.
A handful.
I don't tell that to every third grader.
Oh, I'd love to hear what you say to the other ones.
I also appreciate you having me here with these fine people, and it was nice to meet you guys. I only knew Emma briefly from before, and it's so nice to meet all of you and to hear little snippets of your music, and I hope I'll see you around somewhere soon. I'm playing at Blues on Belgrade with City Mouse in a week or two, and I'm at Patrick's with Billy Steiner right here in town sometime soon.
What's your name?
Where's my phone? Some Sunday in the very near future, and the Blues on Belgrade is just the opposite of playing for children at a daycare center. Although there are many similarities with the audience, if you know what I mean. And thank you so much for having me on the panel, and pleasure to meet all of you.
What's your name?
My name, didn't they say my name?
I don't know.
My name's Ron Arsenault. You almost say the T at the end, but not quite. It's Ron Arsenault. Don't say the T.
My name's Cassidy Anderson, and my current project is Artificial Flowers. Online, you can find my old band, Me Me Me. We got a couple great albums on all the streaming platforms. It's 3 me's, but one word. But with Artificial Flowers, we're currently recording our first album. We're just about done. But you can find an amazing and beautiful song of us performing on YouTube with me and the other 2 vocalists who are also just, I'm so lucky to have them in my life. And then you can catch us at our next really big show would be the Haunted Forest #2. It's at an amazing venue called Green Room in Minneapolis. Huge space. We get grants and sponsors, and we're going to turn the whole thing into a forest. And we have 4 bands, and there's going to be a bazaar with all these oddities and curiosity stands. It's going to be so great. So keep an eye out for that. October 26th at Green Room, the Thursday before Halloween. So yeah, thank you.
Wait.
Yeah.
I got this. Okay. My name is Ark again. We're working on Spotify. We're working on recording stuff right now. But as of today, you could go look up Soul Folk Union or follow Joe Tugas and Associates on Facebook. Currently, my partner and I and our band are just trying to make new music and hopefully get some recordings in the fall. But thanks, Kaleb, for having me here. I honestly feel so out of place with these amazing guitarists and singers, but it's been such an amazing experience, like you said, just to hear little tidbits of everybody's like soul. It's just great. So yes, thank you.
Thanks so much again, everybody, for coming. Thank you. Can we get a round of applause for Triple Falls and the Art Center of St. Peter? Lovely. Thank you so much, everybody. I want to say a thank you to Eli Hain, who first approached me with this idea, and everybody associated with the Minnesota Original Music Festival. What an ambitious project this festival is. Of course, there's numerous events going on all weekend, so definitely keep checking those out. But otherwise, I think this is a good place to end. Thank you again. Can we have one more round of applause for the panelists? And with that, I will bid you adieu. Good night, everyone.